It touches you somewhere, doesn't it? That vibration, it touches you somewhere. Someplace deep inside, you can feel it. All of a sudden, you start to relax into this knowing that you're in exactly the right and perfect space. I'm Reverend Greg Dorst. So great to see all of you. Please take a deep breath as we relax into this space and release it. Knowing that God is present right here, right now, in this very space. Operating in, around, and through as you. Operating in, around, and through this very sanctuary, this beautiful space we call Unity of Pasadena. That space, that amazing community, which is so near and dear to us. For we love Sundays, but we also love each other. And we show that. We show that through the way we treat each other with kindness and goodness and love. You are in the right place. Step into the arms of love. And so we have so much to be grateful for. We're grateful for our sound team. Thank you so much. And our streaming team. And our PowerPoint team. We are so grateful for the volunteers that operate here in the sanctuary for our good. We are so happy to see each and every one of you today. We're so pleased that you're here to be guided and loved by our prayer chaplains today, to be guided and graced with the magnificent music of our musicians today, to hear together a fantastic recitation of truth, to be able to talk about these things when we're through at an amazing picnic today. We're just so grateful for this opportunity, so grateful for this space, so grateful for each other. And so with that gratitude, I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they're already done. And I'd like you to join me, please, in saying, and so it is, amen. And so it is, amen. Excellent. So, hey, moving into holy, holy, holy. How holy, holy, holy are we? Huh?
We are holy.
When you're already there, you don't need more. But more is good.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are whole. Spirit divine, come to me, feeling love, healing me. Open my heart, allow me to see beauty and love that lives in me. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am whole. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am
Thank you, the amazing Unity of Pasadena singers. Hey, that includes all of you guys too, you know, because I can hear you up here. I can hear you. And you have beautiful voices, you truly do. And you know, it's really cool to have a guitar in the back, you know. I'm attached to a guitar. It's kind of the first instrument that I really attached myself to and started hearing everything in guitar speak, you know. It's so nice to have you here, Sam, with this beautiful guitar. So welcome, you guys. Welcome to Unity of Pasadena, and to all the people out there on live stream on the internet right now, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, we welcome you too, whether it's the first time or every time. So what a beautiful day. This space is one that is blessed. And it is blessed because each and every one of us bless it. We're going to do a blessing in a moment that allows you to feel it and know it and take it in for yourself, to yourself. But first, I want to tell you something real quick here. You know, the creative process is something I'm really interested in. I just love it. I love thought into form. I love to be able to bring a new thought to the moment and have something brand new emerge, you know? And so I take every opportunity I can to do that. And while I'm extolling the virtues of Sam here, what I did this morning was I threw a piece of paper down in front of him with some words. And I knew he wasn't going to sing those words, but there were some chords over those words, and he turned it into something really, really fun and unique. It's very different, because I wrote this song on a guitar, but I can't play it this way. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? So I want to give you guys, just for a moment, this whole idea of thought into form, the creative process. Are you ready? Because this is really for you as well. I'm going to sing it. I'm going to sing it. Step into the arms of love. It's a feeling you can take hold of. Join us in our celebration. Feel the grace flow through your heart. Embrace the friendship and connection. When you become a part of healing and inspiration, balance and faith, prayer and contemplation, freedom and grace. I say amen. Join us. Amen. 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 I say amen. 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 And so it is. Oh, Sam, thank you. Doesn't it sound different with a guitar accompaniment? It sounds different, and you should hear it with a tuba accompaniment. Yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Join me in the Unity blessing, please. This is the one I was talking about, because this is the truth. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you just the way you are. We also have a statement of faith I'd like you to join us in. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotence, and I am one with that presence and power. Oh, wonderful stuff. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about our community. Who's going to do that? That's going to be you, Charmaine. Yay! Come on up.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. What a wonderful day to be together here. Vibrant, thriving, happy, and I love that song. Our vision statement is aligned with Unity Worldwide Ministries. Please join with me in affirming our vision. Envisioning a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Becoming that vision translates into us being the channel of divine inaction. So please join with me in affirming our mission. Transforming lives by living and sharing our inner truth of divine wisdom, compassion, and love using practical spiritual principles. And please join with me in affirming our core values: creating community, living love, teaching truth, serving spirit. And each of these statements are located in the front of your bulletin, and they represent our intention as a ministry. Inside your bulletin is our monthly calendar, and please remember to check your bulletin and our Unity of Pasadena website calendar for all the latest happenings. So, today is our picnic. Thank you to everyone who brought a dish and or is providing a donation. Also, if anyone wants to eat outside today, we have several long folding tables that are easily assembled, and we can use those for outside use. Servers, please keep the portions moderate so folks at the end of the line get served. People can always go back for seconds, but we want to make sure everybody gets firsts. And that applies to today and also applies for every Sunday. And just so you know, Sandy Branshaw is parked outside the Capri Deli in Covina. She's waiting for them to open at 11 o'clock because it was her intention to have the freshest sandwich available for you. So she's going to pick up our sandwich. And now, Sandy does not have a lead foot. She's a very good driver. She follows all the rules. She took me to the airport one morning, and it was safe, and it was calm, and it was relaxing, and it was enjoyable. And we got there on time. She does not drive like a bat out of that place that does not exist, but she's going to do her best to have the sandwich here on time. So patience, grasshoppers. That being said, Rev Greg, if you'd like to enhance a few of today's concepts, feel free to be a little long-winded, a little verbose, or a little expansive. That all works. And next week is the first Sunday of the month, so hospitality will be provided by those whose last names start with A, B, and C. Daniel, please remember that Daniel Namod will be with us in person in just 2 weeks. He will be on platform as the guest speaker, the musician, and the soloist, and it will be another experience, amazing service and experience. And if you intend to stay for the additional concert and you haven't yet signed up, you can sign up online, register online, or you can register here in person. In addition to conducting our weekly Sunday service here in the sanctuary, Reverend Dorst has a midweek message, Truth Be Told, on Wednesday evenings at 6. You will find this in Facebook group site, Truth Be Told, Unity of Pasadena. So join Reverend Dorst on Facebook on Wednesday evenings for some midweek inspiration. One-on-one prayer with the prayer chaplains is offered after service here in the sanctuary. So if you would like to receive this blessing, please just stay in your seats, and the prayer chaplains will come to you. Bill Marino is going to lead our meditation today, and in preparation, Marty Arnold will read the daily word. Thank you.
I'm going to get up. Just wait a minute. Before I read the daily word, the subject, let go and let God. Oh, you want a microphone? Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you. When I first went into a New Thought church, I saw a sign, and it said, "Let go and let God." And I said, "What's so hard about that? That's easy." I've spent the next 40 years trying to make it easy. It's simple, but not easy. I bless myself when I let go and let God. If I find myself ruminating over a concern or a weighty decision, I release its grip on my attention by letting go and letting God. When I let go, I am placing my trust in divine mind, the source of infinite potential. I believe there are solutions and remedies of which my limited human mind simply cannot conceive. When I let God, I am trusting the grace of God will bless my life in the most wondrous and even surprising ways. Letting go and letting God is how I live my faith. I surrender to spiritual truth, the presence and power of God, and believe the best outcome is going to be so much better than anything I can imagine. I affirm, let go and let God, and relax into knowing I am deeply loved and abundantly blessed. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. John 14, verse 1. Thank you. Oh, thank you. This old lady's going to make it yet when I'm trying to go by myself.
Good morning. So, if we could just start with take two.
Hey, I go with the flow. This is actually a song for all of us. You guys know this. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. right here, right now, right where I am. I pray.
Thank you, Christy and Sam. Thank you. No, I'm not so embarrassed. I was lost in the music. I guess that's a good thing. So please take 3 deep breaths with me. And another deep breath. And the last one, take a deep breath of the grace of God. And let us start with the prayer of St. Francis. Just a knowing that the last line was changed. God, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is despair, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine presence, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in the giving that we receive, it is in the pardoning that we are pardoned, and that is through grace that we are given everlasting life. What if it all worked out? Several years ago, I got a phone call from a man. He was not happy, in despair, and asked for help. And so I worked with him over time. And I asked him, what would you love? His challenge was that he was in a 3-year divorce. His business was about to go in bankruptcy. He was deathly afraid that all his employees would lose their jobs, their homes, their children's educations. And what he was really afraid about is losing the love of his children, who are very angry and haven't been talking to him. So I asked him, what would you love? And he said, Bill, you don't get it. I'm doomed. I'm doomed. And again, over time and patience, I asked him, what would you love if it all worked out? I said, what if your business was sold? What if your employees kept their jobs and their homes and their cars and their children's education? What if they hired you to manage it? And what if your divorce was final and you and your wife were talking to each other? And imagine it's Christmas Day and you smell the food cooking, you hear laughter, and you look around the room and you see all your children, their husbands and wives and grandchildren. And he looked at me and he said, Bill, that I would love. But I still think you're nuts. So, my brother sent me a slide. Every year he sends me a thank you. And in this text was a photograph of a bleacher, aluminum bleacher, and on the end of a bleacher, written in lipstick, were these words, what if it worked out? So, in this meditation, just turn it over, whatever challenge you have, and ask, What if it all just worked out? Please close your eyes if you feel comfortable. 2 minutes. And as you come back to this space, let my words be yours. Thank you, God, for my awareness. Thank you, God, for all the abundance you give me. Thank you, God, for this day. And thank you knowing that in a relaxed and easy manner, everything I require is being accomplished now in ways that feel really good to me and are at the highest order for everyone involved. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And so it is.
If thoughts are prayers and prayers are things, each moment a note in the life I sing, I welcome each thought like a prayer with wings, knowing my thoughts create my world. If thoughts are prayers and prayers are things, each moment a note in the life I sing, I welcome each thought like a prayer with wings, knowing my thoughts create my world. As I think I am, as I love prayers, and prayers are things. Each moment a note in the life I sing. I welcome each thought like a prayer with wings, knowing my thoughts create my world. As I think I am, as I love I live, who I am is love, and love is all there is. Thoughts are prayers, prayers are things. Thoughts are prayers, prayers are things. Thoughts are prayers, and prayers are things. Thoughts are prayers.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? Yeah, thoughts are prayers. We've been talking about that for quite a while now, probably the whole month. You know, when we started with clarity, we started about 3 weeks ago with clarity, talking about how if you have clarity, you're likely to, clarity in thought, clarity in deed, clarity in action, clarity as to what you want to show up in your life, then you're more than likely to get it. Because thoughts are things. You know, thoughts bring about a change in the universe. We're going to be talking about that to a certain degree because today's topic is intention. And as we talk about intention, we recognize that, you know, it doesn't have just singularly to do with what I feel like I want to see show up. You know, this is my intent. I'm going to force this through. I'm going to make this happen. I have to do this. This has to be done this way, which is oftentimes the way we look at intent, especially in the business world or in our lives. You know, I have the intent to do this. I've got to follow through. I've got to make sure it happens. But more of the idea that there is, in everything we do, in our lives, whether it's through our creativity, in our job, through our family, through our relationships, through our hobbies and our the beauty that we bring to the world, there is sort of something moving through me to have that happen. I mean, it's not just me doing this. There's something that is operating through me that creates the material that I bring to you, that creates songs, that creates an opportunity for the provision of love in relationships. There's something flowing through me that is me. Have you ever had that feeling that this is not just you, that there's something more going on here? There is a power that's flowing through you and operating as you. You know, that in and of itself is a pretty doggone good explanation of this field of intention. Something flowing through you, operating as you. So today, interestingly enough, I thought that I would wear this tie that is called a peacock tie. And you can sort of see the colors of the peacock as you move around. It sort of changes colors. But the reason why I wore this today was because I wanted to show Bonnie, who has peacocks and a love for peacocks, this peacock tie. And lo and behold, Bonnie's not here, right? But if she watches the replay, you know, on YouTube or on Facebook, then she's going to hear her name and she's going to see this tie and she's going to go, "Oh, thank you, Greg." I know she's going to say it. I was thinking of her. I was going to bring this idea of the peacock to her, you know. And so there's something operating through me, that through this thing called me that had my eyes focused, my mind focused, my love focused on Bonnie this morning when I chose a tie, you see. But there's this field of intention that is really fascinating and perhaps deserves a little bit more explanation. Let's see if I can get us there. So, anybody remember Carlos Castaneda? You guys remember? Okay. I got to tell you, when I was in school, Carlos Castaneda, when I was in grade school and then junior high and high school, Carlos Castaneda was the thing. The teachings of Don Juan. It was a very interesting thing, and you were kind of on the edge if you were reading Carlos Castaneda, because there were some things that were a little bit ethereal about what was going on, because he was talking about sorcerers, and there were some, hallucinogenic drugs involved, and, it was kind of edgy back then. But Carlos Castaneda was a writer who spent some time with what was then termed sorcerers, who were actually connected to source. That is what sorcerer means, connected to source in a very interesting and unique way, and learned the ways of connecting to source. And as Carlos Castaneda began to understand this process, he wrote this: "In the universe, there is an unmeasurable, indescribable force called intent. And absolutely everything that exists in the entire cosmos is attached to intent by a connecting link." That's fascinating. You see, because what he was really saying is that this field of intent or intention is operating everything. This field of intent or intention is operating you. You were intended, is another way to put that. You were intended. And the interesting thing about that is that if we're to follow the Big Bang Theory, and I love that theory, and is there any other way to describe how this universe was created? It was created through a microscopic, minimal, just tiny speck of something. We don't know yet. We keep looking for it. We call it a God particle. We built these huge particle accelerators to try and get a glimpse of it, but apparently this really, really indescribably small thing created everything there is. Boom, the Big Bang. And in that Big Bang was the intention of you. And the intention that there be a power in this field that is ever existent that makes your heart beat. That, in fact, I would say, makes your hair stay in your head. Or change color. It's going from brown to gray for me, and how does that happen? But, it's intended, though. It's intended. It's intended that I stand right here today. There is this field of intention that began with this tiny particle, tiny God particle, that shows up in every single one of us in this room. Isn't that amazing? It's intended that you play that guitar, play the music. It's intended that you sing it. It's intended that each and every one of us move ourselves in a way and attach ourselves to this intention, this field that allows us to see the truth in life. So this field, I don't know what you want to call it. I think that over time we've called this thing a bunch of different things. I think it's an aspect of God, because I believe that God is behind, the power of God is behind this intention, that God particle that gave us all that is, including the field of intention, that which allows us to create, by the way, allows us to create through our own use of this field that we call intention. All right? So, what is this thing? What is this field? What is this life that we see and feel and know? And is it all material? Does it come from just a material process of this Big Bang explosion? I don't know. We don't know. So what we've tried to do over the years is get to the bottom of this. I mean, we have electron microscopes that do a pretty good job of trying to get to the bottom of it. You know, you hone in on something, hone in on a molecule, and you start to see that there are atoms there. And, you know, if you turn the microscope up a little bit, the electron microscope up a little bit, you see that inside that atom is mostly space. But there are some protons and neutrons and electrons and all kinds of trons, whatever kind of tron they've found lately, inside there. And so they turn the microscope up again a little bit more. They turn it up a tiny bit more, and they can see inside of these protons. And you know what they find in there? More space. They find more space. And then there are some other particles that are even smaller in there. I mean, quarks. Quarks are in there. And who knows what a quark is really? You know, it has some really odd behavior, but there are people that have actually won the Nobel Prize studying these things. You know, Max Planck is a physicist that started studying quantum theory, and he was one that sort of figured out this whole idea of what quantum mechanics and quantum theory was all about. He won the Nobel Prize in 1918 for that. I mean, really some interesting thinking. Max Planck was a true believer in this field of intention. A true believer that if you put your focus on something, if you put your intention on something, you get a particular result because you're actually, with that intention, moving around certain molecules to create a brand new and unique situation, which raises the possibility that if you're looking at something, it changes from what it would look like if you looked at something else. It's over here doing its thing until you gaze on it, and then it comes into focus. It's over here doing its thing until you look at it, and then it comes into focus. Fascinating stuff. Max Planck won the Nobel Prize, but was a deeply religious kind of person, a deeply spiritual person. And he understood this at a deep level. But he also knew that we were going to try and get down into that very space where that Big Bang particle may have existed. Just get back into that place where that God particle is. When I say God particle, I mean the smallest particle possible, whatever it might be. And so he was instrumental in helping people to build these particle accelerators. You know, I mean, they built the greatest one that we have now today in CERN. And so the only way we can get into these smaller pieces, like the things that take the most amazing electron microscope, the only way we can get into them is to speed them up to 250,000 miles per hour around this huge track and run them into each other. Isn't that wild? I mean, it's like the demolition derby, but for you know, particles. So they've done that. They have done that. You know, they run these teeny tiny particles around and slam them into each other, and then they take a look at what it is that we've got. And you know what they find? You want to know? Space. Nothing. Nothing. No thing. Nothing. Oh my gosh. What do you realize that everything that we see came through this field of intention? We were intended by God to live in this magnificent universe. And so the field of intention was born that operates through our own unique intentions. Isn't that interesting? I mean, you can set an intention. You can set an intention and have something created in your life through the setting of that intention. But it may not be as easy because it's not really magic. It may not be as easy as that because what it requires is that you actually follow it up with some things. The first thing, let's figure out what we have to do. The first thing we have to do is make sure our connection to this field is really, really strong. Because you can operate in this life and just not know anything about what you ought to be doing, and that's ego. I mean, it has absolutely nothing in mind except for its own welfare. I mean, ego is that thing that attaches you to stuff, to things. You know, then you lose sight of what's really, really going on. Your ego might tell you that all there is your job, or all there is how much money you have, or all there is the house that you live in. All there is this beautiful car that you drive, or this beautiful guitar that you play. Your ego might tell you that that's all there is, and you would gauge yourself on that. But the real truth of this, of who you really are, lies at a different level. It's way beyond that. When we get into spaces like this, we can talk about that, you see. We can talk about what's at that deeper level, the unseen. And you know, that's where we all operate in any case, as shown by that particle accelerator. Because the unseen is really all there is. The unseen, that substance which becomes things for a while and then goes back into its space where it is unseen again and then becomes something and then it goes back into it. I mean, we're in the process of doing that right now. I mean, I've been doing it for 67 years. I don't know how much more time I have to do that, but when I do, then I'm going to disappear, and many of you won't see me. But that doesn't mean I'm not here. See, where we're going is that doesn't mean that I'm not here. I'm still in the energy field, that field of intention. I am still there. Anything you've ever seen, anything you've ever known is in that field of intention, that magnificent field of intention. So Max Planck said something that I think that is a way to put a nail in this. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. You know, Max Planck was a physicist, not a unity minister. Really. Because you'll hear me all the time say things like, you know, there's only one mind. You know, the mind of God. You think through it. You live in it. You express in it. It is only one thing. And this one is what Max Planck is talking about here, with a field of intention running through it. So this whole thing gets confusing until you decide that you're going to take a look at the best way to connect to this field of intention so that you can actually demonstrate the things that you want. I put a tagline to this talk today. This talk is entitled Demonstrating Your Intention, but the tagline is Becoming Your Greater Yet to Be. Becoming your greater yet to be. But here's the real truth. That greater yet to be is already in you. That's sort of what we've been talking about. That greater yet to be is already in you, but we can uncover it. We can do that by talking about the kind of connection that's necessary. And when I say connection, I mean that conscious connection to this field of intention. You create that conscious connection, and what you're doing is enhancing your ability to create what it is that you'd like to see in your life, your intention, that which you'd like to have unfold, which is already there, by the way. Do you know you can keep yourself from being magnificent? Do you know that? I'm telling you, you are magnificent, but you can keep yourself from being that. You are whole, healthy, and illuminated, as Myrtle Fillmore would say. I love that line. Whole, healthy, and illuminated. That's what you are. But you can keep yourself from being that. You can. You can convince yourself that you're something other than that. You can convince yourself that you are absolutely in the throes of something that you were not intended to be. Doesn't mean you're not that perfect, whole, and illuminated and healthy, Greg. It just means that you've covered that up through a lousy connection for a while. How do you clean that connection? How do you, and here's Bobby right here, who is an electrician. How do you make that synapses work? How do you create that connection where you have to have a nice clean wire, you have to have a connection, there has to be a way for you to receive and send this beauty that we know to be God, the field of intention. Has to be a way for us to connect with that. So I was listening to Wayne Dyer the other day, and I just love Wayne Dyer's stuff. He wrote this book called The Power of Intention, which I think is pretty doggone good. It's really good. And in that book, what he decides to do is describe to us the 7 faces, and I call it facets. 7 faces of intention. So when I say faces, it makes me think of people and, something separate from me. But when I say facets, I could understand and know that that's in me, you see. So facets. The 7 faces or facets of intention is what he brings up in his book, The Power of Intention, such that we might be able to create this magnificent connection with this field of intention. These are the things that you have to become in order to really bask in that greater yet to be. This is what you have to do to clean the wires so that the connection is absolutely magnificent. First on the list, kindness. Because this whole thing of intention and demonstrating your greater yet to be is actually an exercise in connecting with this power. You have to understand that this power is that. Align yourself with the power means become that. Who do you have to be in order to be kind? Who do you have to be? Ask yourself that question. Who do I have to be in order to be kind? I have to be the person that will absolutely be empathetic and compassionate toward difficult circumstances and situations. I have to be that person that sees a need and steps into the gap. I have to be that person who is absolutely assured that there is beauty, grace, and goodness within me and not be judgy about me or you. I mean, kindness is a really interesting thing. It can be very wide-ranging. It can be very, very deep. But I can tell you this, that word kindness will absolutely clean up the connection if I become it. If I become it. So this intention is not necessarily a forcefully driven idea. It is what we become, not necessarily what we do. So let's be kind. That cleans up the connection. Let's be loving. Wow, that's number 2 on his facets or faces of intention. Loving. I mean, can you imagine what happens when you practice love? When you come from love in everything that you see and do and participate in? When you come from love in your relationships? Can you imagine what happens? Well, this is what happens. The connection becomes so great that you actually start to receive it back from people and circumstances, from situations. You actually begin to receive that back because this connection's been established. So the facet of intention that I really, really like is love. But that is a face of intention, as Wayne Dyer states. He also says beauty is a face of intention. If you connect yourself to this idea of beauty, and that doesn't mean beautiful, although it can, but if you connect yourself to this idea of beauty, which is actually a state of mind. I mean, I remember when I had a reptile as a kid. It was a snake. Oh, people were scared of it. They'd come in and see this snake, and they were, why would you want a snake? Oh, it's so ugly. I've never seen anything so beautiful. When I was a kid, that was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I would sit there and watch this snake and watch its tongue come out and look at the beautiful colors that were different in different light. And I thought to myself, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I just felt this amazing connection to that beauty. I mean, other people thought it was ugly. Other people wouldn't get near it. I mean, beauty is a state of mind, baby. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. What a phrase. I wish I'd made that one up. But it is. It's in the eye of the beholder. But you can become that. You see, you can see beauty in everything. You can. You can see this. I'm going to tell you a little story because I have the time, because Sandy's not here with the sandwich yet. I'm going to tell you this little story. And it was a wake-up call for both myself and Jackie. We were talking about what God is, I mean, and the beauty of God, the beauty that God represents. And we could see it in the trees. We could see it in the flowers. We were standing on the front porch of our house. We could see it in all of the beautiful greenery. We could see it in the squirrel that was running up the tree. All this really beautiful stuff. Great, beautiful, nature-like stuff. And I said something like, is it also in the trash in the gutter? Is it also the gutter stuff, the stuff that we have to sweep up and get out of the way, otherwise people think we're bad neighbors? Is it also in that? Is that God too? Or is it just that's God? Then you start pulling your hair out and going, oh my gosh. My concept of God is wrapped up in this thing that I think is beautiful, as opposed to the beauty in everything. Because, that's God too. That's God too. The trash in the gutter is God too. Wow. So, another facet, another face of intention is expansion. Expansion is the order of the day. The universe continues to expand, and so does our life if we can attach ourselves to that idea. You guys, by the way, and I'm going to say this for the people that are on the streaming, because I know you can come on in one day. Please come on, sit down here. But the expansion of your life when you do is incredible. You get to meet some amazing people. You get to come in here and listen to some amazing music. The vibration from the music, the absolute love from the people can be felt for a moment on the screen. But how about forever in the connection? I mean, it's awesome stuff. So that's how you become expansive. See, that's how you nestle up to the expansiveness of life, that you clean that connection with this field of intention. And then, according to Wayne Dyer, we have receptivity as one of the facets, because this is right back to that idea that I said, you can be all of this, you can have all of this, you can express all of this, but if you push it away, it ain't yours. Even though it is, but it's not. You can be magnificent, but you can also go, not today. We do that. Finally, Wayne Dyer says that this field of intention is the creativity of the universe. It is God's way of creating intention. I mean, it's interesting how the Bible actually, talks about all of this stuff that Max Planck got a Nobel Prize for. The idea that your intention is important is right there in Genesis. God's intention, created in the image and likeness of God we are, and God's intention created all there is. The intention on the first day, second day, third day, seventh day. Did I miss the fourth and fifth? Yeah, all the days. So I love that explanation of intention as a field and the facets of it so that we can connect ourselves to it. So if you're interested in becoming your greater yet to be, uncovering all that is within you, then start doing those things that are the faces of intention. Clean out that connection. Become that, and life changes. Is it okay with you if your life gets better? I have people go, what do you mean by that? No, really. Is it okay with you if your life gets better? Because it can, as long as it's okay with you. God, I love this stuff. You guys are an amazing expression of this thing we call God. Sandy is an amazing expression of this thing we call a sandwich today. And I got the thumbs up on that one. Thank you so much. So know this. There is much more to understand around this field, because really that's kind of the study of our religious order, kind of the study of spirituality. How? Why? How do we operate? How do we connect with this? How do we bring about our greater yet to be? How can we live more freely and more beautifully in greater integrity? That's what we're here to talk about. A lot's there. So join me right now by recognizing that the God in me recognizes the God in you. And the way we do that is by saying, Namaste. Namaste. Thank you. Okay, so here's what we're going to do right now. We are going to demonstrate our intention to support our community. And I'll go first. Oh, do we need an usher for that? We do. How about Steve? Come on forward. So we have community giving, and this is what this is about, truly. This is about recognizing that unity of Pasadena is a divine idea in the mind of God. It is absolutely one of the most amazing things, and worth perpetuating, worth enlarging, worth expanding, so that we all might receive more and more and more good and beauty and love. And in order to do that, what we do is we enter into this covenant, so to speak, that our good is shared. And this is how we do it. Please join me in our community giving. God is the source of my overflowing supply, and I am grateful. Christy, hit it.
We're going to the land of milk and honey. We don't need no money. Talk about the journey deep inside. Living with spirit as a guide. Your imagination can run free. You can realize all your dreams. Talk about the journey deep inside. Keeping the spirit as your guide. Anything you want, it's already here.
Really?
Whatever you desire, it will appear. Oh, yeah. We're living in heaven here on earth. Experience life for all it's worth. Talking about the journey deep inside. Living with spirit as our guide. What you believe you can achieve. Let your wild horses run free. Talking about the journey deep inside. Living with spirit as your guide. Anything you want, it's already here. Whatever you desire, it will appear. Oh, yes, it will. We're living in heaven here on earth. Experience life for all it's worth. Talking about the journey deep inside. Living with spirit as our guide. Your imagination can run free. You can realize all your dreams. Talking about the journey deep inside. Keeping the spirit as your guide. Woo! We're talking about the inward journey. We're talking about that inner journey. Let's talk about that inner journey, yeah. Talking about that inner journey. Woo.
Oh, we love Eddie Watkins Jr. Eddie Watkins saying, I can just see him up here playing that bass, you know. Awesome. Thank you so much for that rendition. It was just beautiful. Come on forward, Steve. Let's bless this money, because we know that these tithes and treasures go to the benefit of this community here, and we promise to do so. And that these tithes and treasures are utilized for the expansion of this magnificent idea of unity. And that these tithes and treasures are utilized in order to help the surrounding community as well to come into their greatest yet to be. We just express our thanksgiving for being able to do this, for having the ability to do this, for having the gift of service and charity within us to do these things, for this is a great way of cleaning up the connection, that connection with this field of magnificent intention. I'm just so grateful for this. I'm grateful for you. Release these words into the law of mind, knowing that they're done. And please join me by saying, and so it is. Amen. Thank you, guys. All right, so we get to stand up one more time. Yep. Say what? Yeah. Afterward we have prayer. And our prayer chaplains will be here. Bill, are you with anybody today as a prayer chaplain? Is it just you? We got Paul. Paul is our prayer chaplain as well, in service. Thank you so much, Paul. Are you too? You too? We got plenty of, look at this. You need prayer. It's here. The field of possibility is expanding. You know, there's also going to be a meeting, by the way, for the good of this community at 10:30 on Wednesday, right here in this very space. Isn't that right, Charmaine? Yeah, right here at 10:30, we're going to be talking about how we can all come together and bring a little bit of ourselves to this community. Thank you for hosting that. Absolutely.
Her mystery story she's writing, and we need volunteers. So if you
Oh, yeah.
putting together something fun and amazing for fall, come and join us Wednesday here at 10:30 in the morning.
Have you ever thought about unleashing your acting bug? Will you guys please join with me in this silent unity prayer for protection? The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine and all is well. What are we singing today? I choose love. Oh, ooh, looks like I choose love. Absolutely. We'll join you.
Yeah. Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present. It's what I made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One tie that binds us that can't be undone. We choose love. Peace for our planet is growing because I choose love. Let love be present. It's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one. One choice unites us. Let this be the one. I choose love.